I decided to do Inktober, where you do a different drawing every day in pen and ink, but I missed the first few days. So there's day 1, went to church, got home, took a nap, forgot about the challenge. Day 2, laptop was busted. Day 3, work got in the way. Day 4, my cousin reminds me and says, "You can do it, you can jump in now." And then I jumped in. I drew some corn. There's corn from a different angle. If you enjoy this sort of thing, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm David_T_good on Instagram. I'll look for you there. Welcome back. I've got a bunch of random things to show you today, sort of like a variety show. So we'll just jump from thing to thing to thing, and I think you'll find some of them interesting. One of my neighbors needed a ride because his car broke down, and I drove him back to his house. And when I got there, he said, "Do you know what these are?" And he gave me a jabuticaba seed, which I planted in here, and he gave me a Suriname cherry seed, which I put in here. So we'll see if they actually came up. He got them sent from somebody else who had the trees, and he had just a few of them, so he gave me a couple of his. So hey, why not? We'll see what happens. Here is some of my Albizia salmon wood, also known as monkey pod. Stuff is so awesome. I've got a bunch of it drying here underneath the laundry, and some of this is actually mahogany, some of it is Albizia. Oh, wow, the lens effect. Ready? Got a good looking long neck pumpkin here. This is one of the volunteers that came out of the compost pile. Oh man, that's a kind of a cool looking one. It comes to a point. It looks like it's gonna be really pretty, but that goes all the way back here from back behind the compost. This one here is a small Bahfeemus egg. These are the ones that my son grew in his garden on the other side of the fence. This one is about ready. I don't think it's gonna get any bigger. That one's probably not gonna get any bigger either, even though it's still sort of small, about the size of a butternut maybe. But that's about all they're gonna do back here. I think the vine is starting to give up. It's getting some dead leaves on it. And here's one more from that same vine. Cool, huh? We'll shoot this in Earl Grey cam. Seminole pumpkin cross, and it's growing in probably the nicest patch of grass in my entire yard. I was able to cut all the rest of it, but kind of just had to cut around the vines here and let it go. We don't want that to be a casualty of string trimming. Here we've got some decent stuff going. It's mostly, you know, squash and pumpkins running out of it right now, but the wild bird peppers I put in, we've been picking peppers off them. They're looking pretty nice. They make a really tiny pepper, but it's flavorful, and they look cool, and they're native. Here in the beautiful fridge garden, we have some tarragon in bloom, and right alongside, look at that oxalis. It's just gorgeous to see them together. Let's look at that. Like, you couldn't match those colors better if you wanted to. There's the apparently edible Dioscorea bulbifera making potatoes, air potatoes. See, I checked with the guy that gave these to me, and he told me that the guy that gave them to him said that they were edible, but he planted them and didn't eat them himself, but he's replanted them because he said he's afraid to eat them. And I'm kind of afraid to eat them too, because back in Florida, if they look like this, they were probably poisonous and they'd mess you up. But that doesn't mean these are poisonous. I don't know. I don't know how you can tell if your air potato is actually edible, because see, Dioscorea bulbifera, it doesn't give you the normal, look at this. See these leaves? They alternate. There's one here, there's one there. And the rule of thumb on yams is that if you have them, you know, the leaves are opposite each other just like this, one leaf here and one leaf here, then they're safe to eat. But that doesn't work for Dioscorea bulbifera, and there are plenty of forms of edible Dioscorea bulbifera. But yeah, well, there you go. Don't know. This one I am sure is edible because I've seen this type growing before. It has a very strange angle to it. It's unmistakable. But we're not going to actually get a lot of them. The one I planted was very tiny, as you remember from the video, so it didn't have a lot of stored energy. So the vine itself is not very large. So we're not really I'm not going to eat them. These guys will make much bigger vines next year if I plant them. Plus they're really too precious. I don't want to lose them by eating them. And we'll try them sometime in the future. And I don't know if I'm going to try the other ones because I'm scared. Thanks for joining me today. If you live in a temperate region of the Northern Hemisphere, I hope you've had great harvests this fall and things are just coming in and that you're getting things wrapped up and planned for next year, and it's been an excellent 2017. And for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, may you have a wonderful spring and get rolling. And for those of you in the tropics, yeah, just keep rolling with the bugs and the mold and the humidity and the pounding rain. Just enjoy it. You can find me on the web at thesurvivalgardener.com, and you can find my books on Amazon under the name David the Good. Be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spiced rum.